Hello students. Today in this session we will study factors affecting adsorption. Adsorption, that is phenomena of higher concentration of adsorbate at the surface of the adsorbent. Adsorption, it is surface phenomena because it arises due to unbalanced forces present at the surface of the solid. Adsorption, it is the combination of adsorbent and adsorbate. Now, what are the factors which affect adsorption? First factor is nature of gas, that is adsorbate. Students, higher the critical temperature of the gas, greater will be the amount of that gas adsorbed. The easily liquefiable gases like carbon dioxide, ammonia are more rapidly absorbed as compared to elementary gases, hydrogen, oxygen or nitrogen. Students, it's clear from left to right, critical temperature increase, that is tendency of liquefaction increase, hence adsorption increase. That's the first factor, nature of gas. Second, nature of solid. Adsorption also depends upon the nature of adsorbent. Third, surface phenomena. Students, all of you know adsorption is surface phenomena. Third factor is surface area. The rate of adsorption increase with increase in surface area, that is adsorption is directly proportional to surface area. Larger the surface area of the solid, greater will be its adsorbing power. That's the surface. And in second condition, that's the surface. In this case, more particles of adsorbate come in contact with adsorbent, that is adsorption increase with increase in surface area. Here less particles will come, 1, 2, 3 or 4 only. These are the three factors. First, nature of adsorbent. Second, nature of adsorbent. Third, surface area. Fourth factor is temperature. Students, we have studied adsorption. It is exothermic process. Adsorbate strike to the surface of adsorbent, leads to the formation of adsorption. Enthalpy is released, that is delta H is negative. It means forward reaction is exothermic, that is adsorption, and the reverse, that is desorption, it is endothermic. Now we will apply Le Chatelier's principle. According to Le Chatelier's principle, increase in temperature shift the equilibrium towards endothermic reaction and decrease in temperature shifts the equilibrium towards exothermic reaction. Students, according to Le Chatelier's principle, increase in temperature will favor the reverse process, that is desorption. So we can say adsorption decrease with increase in temperature because it is exothermic process. Now in this we will study one graph, that is adsorption isobar. Friends, iso means same, var is the unit of pressure. Pressure is same, it means we are doing the graph of adsorption versus temperature. Graph between extent of adsorption, x upon m. X is the amount of adsorbate and m is the mass of adsorbent. Whenever I use the term extent of adsorption, I will write in bracket x upon m, adsorbate versus adsorbent. The graph between extent of adsorption with temperature at constant pressure, it is called adsorption isobar. It is clear that adsorption decrease with increase in temperature. That's the graph for physical adsorption. That is, extent of adsorption decrease with increase in temperature because it is exothermic process. But students, for chemical adsorption, that is chemisorption, it initially increase with increase in temperature and then decrease. At first, chemical adsorption increase and then decrease because in chemical adsorption, like all chemical reactions, there is proper bond formation. That is, bond is formed between adsorbate and adsorbent. Students, we know in chemical reactions, reactant changes to product. The changes to product only when they cross the energy barrier, and it is called threshold energy. We supply energy to the reactants, so their energy becomes equal to threshold energy. Immediately touch it and leads to the formation of products. That's the process of chemical reaction. And this energy is called activation energy, which is supplied to the reactants, so their energy becomes equal to threshold energy, which results in a chemical reaction. Students, Chemical absorption, again it is chemical process. That's the question. Chemical absorption initially increase with temperature and then decrease. Explain. Because like all chemical reactions, some activation energy is required for chemical absorption so that proper bonds are formed between adsorbate and adsorbent. At first what will happen? Bond formation. Because like all chemical reactions, some activation energy is required for chemical absorption so that proper bonds are formed between adsorbate and adsorbent. Hence it initially increases with temperature. Friends, further increase in temperature will increase the energy of the molecules which have been adsorbed, and this results in the breaking of the bonds. This leads to the breaking of the bonds. After this what will start? Bond dissociation. That's the reason chemical absorption initially increase and then decrease. Again students, in this question please make this graph. That's the question of 1 marks. What is adsorption isobar? Iso same bar is the unit of pressure. Graph between extent of adsorption with temperature at constant pressure. That is adsorption isobar. Suppose the question is chemical absorption increase initially and then decrease. Explain. Again at first please make the graph for chemical absorption and then write, because like all chemical reactions, some activation energy is required for chemical absorption so that proper bonds are formed between adsorbate and adsorbent, hence it initially increase. Further increase in temperature will increase the energy of the molecules have been absorbed and results in the breaking of the bonds. That's the reason it initially increase and then decrease with temperature. I hope the concept is clear. First factor we study nature of adsorbate, second nature of adsorbent, third surface area, fourth temperature, and last fifth pressure. Friends, that's the surface where adsorption takes place. It is called adsorbent. And the molecules comes like this. On increasing pressure, the number of gas particles from the surroundings striking to the surface of adsorbent increase. When we apply pressure, on increase in pressure, the number of gas particles from the surroundings striking to the surface of the adsorbent increase. Hence adsorption increase. Again in pressure we will study one graph. It's called Friendly's adsorption isotherm. Friends, iso same, thermo means heat, that is temperature same. We will plot the graph of adsorption with pressure at constant temperature. That's the question, maybe of 1 marks. Explain Friendly's adsorption isotherm. At first you will write graph between extent of adsorption, that is exponent, amount of adsorbate and mass of adsorbent, versus pressure at constant temperature. Please come here, that's the graph. With increase in pressure, extent of adsorption increase becomes maximum at PS, it is called saturated pressure or equilibrium pressure, and remain unchanged thereafter. At first it increase becomes maximum. This pressure is termed as saturated pressure, equilibrium pressure. Friends, after this it remains unchanged because the process of adsorption is reversible. At saturated pressure, the rate of adsorption becomes equal to rate of desorption. Rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction, therefore it remains unchanged. This graph is called Friendly's adsorption isotherm. Friends, we will further study some applications of this graph with respect to your competitive exams so you can easily answer. We will study 3 cases. First case, at low pressure. Friends, at low pressure, the graph is almost straight line. That is, extent of adsorption is proportional to pressure. Extent of adsorption increase with increase in pressure. At low pressure, what is the condition? Exponent m is directly proportional to P, or we can say exponent m is equal to Kp. This is the condition at low pressure. Friends, at high pressure, extent of adsorption becomes almost constant, that is independent of pressure. We can say exponent m is equal to constant, or exponent m is directly proportional to P ki power 0. Anything power 0 equal to 1 constant. So what is the condition at high pressure? Exponent m is equal to K P ki power 0. At low pressure the condition was exponent m is equal to Kp. Now third case is intermediate pressure. Now what will happen at intermediate pressure? Please, sorry for that. That's the case of condition at intermediate pressure. Students, what was the condition at low pressure? It's clear. X upon m is equal to Kp. What was the condition at high pressure? X upon m is equal to Kp की power 0. At low pressure we can say X upon m Kp की power 1. At high pressure P की power 0. Now at intermediate pressure, what is the condition? X upon m depends upon the power of pressure which lies between 0 to 1. Which lies between 0 to 1, that is fractional power. Why I say 0 to 1? Because at high pressure I give power 0, at low pressure I give power 1. Intermediate, it is between 0 to 1. X upon m depends upon the power of pressure which lies between 0 to 1, that is fractional power. That's the condition, students, at high pressure. X upon m is directly proportional to P की power 1 by n, where n is any whole number from 1 onwards, 2, 3, 4. That's the condition. X upon m is equal to K, P की power 1 by n. In competitive exams, question may be, what is the suitable condition for Friendly's adsorption isotherm at low pressure? Students, you should know, at low pressure, that's the condition. X upon m equal to Kp. What is the suitable condition for Friendly's adsorption isotherm at intermediate pressure? X upon m is equal to K, P की power 1 by n. Now please try to solve these questions. For Friendly's adsorption isotherm, right condition at low pressure is. Second question, give reason why a finely divided surface is more effective as an adsorbent. Because finely divided surface will have more surface area. That's the reason. Third, what form of Friendly's adsorption isotherm equation takes at high pressure? Please try to do these questions and forward me on this number. These were the factors which affect adsorption. Again going to remind, first was nature of adsorbate, second nature of adsorbent, third surface area. Only explain in one line. Fourth, temperature. In temperature you write it is exothermic, so decrease with increase in temperature. That's the specific case. We study chemical adsorption, initially increase and then decrease. Last was pressure. When we increase pressure, more particles of adsorbate come in contact with adsorbent, hence adsorption increase. And that's why the again specific case, Friendly's adsorption isobar and isotherm. After this, students, next is three types of solution. Three types of solution on the basis of particle size. On the basis of the size of the particles of the substance, solutions may be divided into three types. There's true solution, colloidal solution and suspension. Students, when particle size is less than 1 nanometer, we call them true solutions. Particle size 1 to 1000 nanometer, colloidal solution, and greater than 1000 nanometer, suspension. Now what is the exact definition? True solution, it is homogeneous solution. At first we will indicate nature. Homogeneous solution with particle size less than 1 nanometer. Colloidal solution, heterogeneous solution with particle size 1 to 1000 nanometer. Suspension, again heterogeneous but particle size greater than 1000 nanometer. We will study in detail colloids which are intermediate between true solutions and suspension. Students, now we are going to study colloids. At first, components of colloids. What are the components of colloids? It is clear it is heterogeneous solution. Heterogeneous solution, that is consists of two components, dispersion phase and dispersion medium. At first, students, what are the components of solution? Components of solution, it is homogeneous. We know solute and solvent. Solute is the component that dissolves and solvent is the component in which dissolution takes place. Or we say component that is less solute or component that is excess, that is solvent. These are the components of solution which is of homogeneous nature. Now what are the components of colloidal solution? It is heterogeneous nature. It is consists of two components, dispersion phase and dispersion medium. Friends, solution, solute and solvent we say. Here we say dispersion phase and dispersion medium. Same. Dispersion phase, component in less, just like solute in solution. Component in less amount is called dispersion phase. And component in excess, it is called dispersion medium, and just like solvent in solution. I say component less solute, component excess solvent in case of solution. In case of colloidal solution, we use the term dispersion phase and dispersion medium. Component in less amount, just like solute in solution. Component in excess, just like solvent in solution, is called dispersion medium. Please look here, students. There's a colloidal solution. There's a shaded area below, it is water. Component in excess, we call it dispersion medium. Component in excess. Now I added in some silver particles. It is heterogeneous. Component in less, it is called dispersion phase. Silver particles, they are called dispersion phase, and this background is called dispersion medium. And students, this colloidal solution is called erzirol. You should know what is erzirol. Colloidal solution of silver in water. It is used as eye lotion. Erzirol, colloidal solution of silver in water. Purple of Cassis, colloidal solution of gold in water, given by the scientist Cassis. Purple of Cassis, colloidal solution of gold in water. Aqua dag, aqua means water, dag means graphite, colloidal solution of graphite in water. Oily dag, colloidal solution of graphite in oil. Thank you.